Hello, hello. What's up, guys? You are watching The Couch Casuals, and I'm your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez. Always out here with my beautiful, lovely, handsome co-host.
It's your boy, Kyle DiOrio. We're back at you for UFC 314 out of Miami.
Miami. Dude.
Should be a hot one.
You think so?
Dude, this is a pretty stacked card. We got big names on the prelims. We got Dan Ige. We got Yan Xiaonan, who just fought for a title. Last time she fought, now she's on the prelims fighting Verna Jandiroba.
Sure.
Jim Miller, Chase Hooper.
Nice.
So, I mean, the prelims are looking good, but that main card, though, looking spicy.
Shout out to the prelims. Is there any other notable names on the prelims?
For those who remember, our boy Trayshawn Gore is on the early prelims. Mm-hmm. We had him on the show when he fought Bo Nickel. Yeah, but now, I mean, he's fighting Marco Tulio, so he's back. He's back in action.
I'm glad he gets another crack at it.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it for the prelim call-outs for me.
Sure.
Are you ready to roll into UFC 314's main card, baby?
Let's do it, dude. Out of Miami, dude.
Out of Miami. So we're starting the night off with a light heavyweight bout.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Nikita Krylov versus number 11, Dominick Reyes. Reyes, he kind of historically went downhill after the John Jones fight, but he's bounced back in his last two. Got him a couple of dubs.
Sure.
I mean, I know one was Anthony Smith, but he did get the TKO on him, so I mean,
shout out to Anthony Smith.
Maybe he's on a little late career resurgence going into this fight.
He's a young cat. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's not out there yet. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like I'm sure I've seen Krylov fight, but I don't feel like I'm as well versed with what he's done.
I'm not very in tune with his late stuff.
And I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at his fight history. He hasn't fought since March of 2023, so maybe that's why I feel so questionable about him. And he's ranked 8th, and he hasn't fought in 2 years. It's kind of odd, right?
Sure, but there's not a lot going on at light heavyweight.
No. 2 years is a long time.
To not fight, yeah. And he's not that old either, right?
Yeah, he's 33.
He would have been 31 last time he fought.
Yeah, so he's kind of used up, that's some crucial years in the UFC
It's
game.
Your prime. What are you talking about? But it's whatever he needs to get ready. I hope he's done enough to get ready for a very, very good fighter in Dominick Reyes. Don't count him out, man. Don't count him out.
No, definitely not. Dominick Reyes can bang. He's proven that. He's gotten over the little knockout streak he had where he was just going down to everything. Don't really know what happened to him, but glad to see him on the recovery because he took some brutal KOs.
Yeah.
The Yair one sticks out in my head. The way he landed could have been really bad.
Yeah, man. And I think, and I'm not speaking from personal experience, but just what I saw as a fan, he put it all on the line to beat John Jones.
He did.
He put everything he had. And when you do every single thing that you need to do, that you feel like you need to do, that you can get prepared in preparation in general, and then you lose to a questionable decision when John showed up in 4 and 5.
One of the most questionable decisions.
With John Jones, definitely.
Probably in that later run, the Dominick Reyes one is probably the most questionable of all the wins.
Right. So it's like that didn't do anything to him directly, but I feel like to a layman like myself, it could probably mess up your psyche.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you laid everything out there. You arguably won the fight, and you don't get your hand raised at the end. It can really really mess you up.
And we've been talking about this for years. You know what I'm saying? So
In a while. When was that fight? Let me look. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check when was that fight.
pre-COVID.
Yeah. Oh, February 8th. So like literally just the most pre-COVID thing possible. That might have been the last event prior to the shutout.
The boom. The COVID
That
boom.
might have actually been the last thing. And then he went on a 3-fight losing streak, getting knocked out by Yair, and Ryan Spann, all in pretty brutal fashion. So it's good to see that, he's gotten himself 2 knockouts of his own. I'm gonna ride with Dom Reyes. I think he gets it done. 2-year layoff, maybe not the best look. Dominick Reyes has 2 wins in that period of time, so I think Dom can get this one done.
Any activity is better than no activity. Even if Dom had went 1-1, it's getting in there and he's experiencing what it's like.
Staying fresh.
2 years out, you're not doing anything for yourself. Like Chael Sonnen, the great Chael Sonnen says, you don't get better at something by not doing it. So even if Dom
there might have been some. Go ahead, sorry.
Even if Dom is doing it and failing, he's at least doing it.
Yeah. There might have been some extenuating circumstances. I couldn't find anything. I did a quick search just to see, what might have led to a 2-year layoff. I didn't see anything. But yeah, you better be ready because you got to hold on to that number 8 spot. Fighting a very, very game Dominick Reyes.
I don't want to go against Dom. And, we aren't held to a standard of, we don't have corporation behind us. What you see, these 2 guys right here, what you see is what you get. There's nobody making us differ from each other. Is it an entertaining show when we agree? Who knows? I'm not Skip Bayless. He's not Stephen A., Shannon Sharp, any of that stuff. We ride our own train.
Yeah.
I'm going with Dominick Reyes.
Hell yeah. Dominick Reyes, our boy, gets it done. You ready to move on to the next fight? You got anything else you'd like to say on old Dom? Dirty Dom?
He should have derailed John Jones.
She probably should have.
Anyways, I'm good on that.
All right, we're going to move into the next fight. We have a debuting outside legend from Bellator. We have the number 5 featherweight Yair Rodriguez welcoming Patricio Pitbull to the UFC. And for those that don't know, look it up because that's big. That's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
this is a huge outside signing. Probably like one of the top non-UFC fighters in the last 5-ish, 10 years.
Sure.
One of the only names that we didn't have, and now we have him.
I think that it's important to look at other organizations like ONE FC or, as recent as the PFL Bellator matchup, and then I'm glad Patricio jumped ship. He stayed there as long as he possibly could. The Pitbull brothers, I feel, because there's another one that fights at, I think, a lower weight, but this guy that they just signed, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's Michael Chandler's daddy. He not flatlined, I don't think. I think it was a weird stoppage, but for Michael Chandler to be as entertaining of a fighter as he is and was, I think it's very important to recognize that there are people who are talented outside of the UFC. So this is a big signing, like Kyle said.
It's a big signing. The only concern is, did it come too late? He is 37 as he's debuting into the UFC. You think he makes like maybe one serious run at a title and then just takes the Michael Chandler route of let's make as much money as possible?
I think the legitimacy of his record doesn't match the bank account. And I think...
No, there's no way.
No, and I think that okay, we can make big money fights, but we just have to show who we are. When Michael Chandler, shout out to Dan Hooker for being game. When Michael Chandler got signed to the UFC, they're like, okay, is he going to be entertaining? Is he going to be a decision machine? And then he showed up and was like, no, I'm here to put on great performances.
I'm here to bang.
So if Patricio follows that blueprint of like, no, I'm not here to just become a champ only. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
I'm sure that's like the primary number one goal at first. But then you're late in your career. If you take one loss, it's kind of like
you better make it entertaining, like Michael Chandler does.
Pivot. That being said, we can't write off old Yair Rodriguez.
Yair beats the shit out of this guy.
Dude,
Yair whoops his ass. Yair has faced
Yair.
Yeah.
Younger, fresher,
sneakier.
I mean, he's gone toe-to-toe with Max Holloway, Volkanovski, Brian Ortega. He lost those 3 fights, but it wasn't like super one-sided. He stayed with Max all the way to the decision. He beat Brian Ortega once, and I understand that, Brian's shoulder dislocated, but it dislocated in a submission.
Yeah.
I don't know. People kind of gloss over that, but I mean, he did that to him. That wasn't like a freak accident. He was in like a triangle choke or an armbar or something, and his shoulder popped out.
I don't exactly remember, but breaking news here on CCMMA: Aaron Pico from that branch just got signed recently.
Oh my God! Breaking news here. A CCMMA
scoop
exclusive.
Aaron Pico's fighting, and I'm pretty sure he's fighting lightweight ranked Imavov. I'm pretty sure. Can you search that for me?
Yeah, let's take a look. Pico.
Pico, like a picogram that was found in John Jones's bloodstream.
Oh my God! So this got his first. Yep. Evloev.
Imavov, Evloev, Krylov.
Whatever his name is.
They do not. I'm not a UFC personnel. I'm speaking freely. They do not fuck with Evloev. He's number 4, and this guy is just now debuting. That is also a good fight. We will go over that fight. No. That's a fight night, you said, right?
That's a fight night. Yeah, it's going to be a fight night.
We won't be covering that. We'll cover it right now. We'll give him his flowers right now. Aaron Pico is a dangerous guy. Not very old. I think he's very young, coming into his prime as well. Against the number 4 ranked lightweight. That's balls. To be
it's a big fight.
To be Yair was what, 5 you said? 6?
5. He's number 5.
And to fight a debuting fighter who's like, oh well, I was champion in another organization. Yeah, tell that to RDD. What is his name? The guy that is Bo Nichols fighting. Rene Dupree.
De Ritter.
He was a double champ in 1FC, I believe. Came over, submitted Kevin Holland. Should have seen it coming.
Yeah, we should have, but we didn't.
You have to put respect on these champions of these other organizations. I don't think Aaron Pico is champ, though. So for him to get a number 4 ranked fighter right out of the gate, that's a big step up. I wouldn't say that Yair is a step down from Patricio's competition, but I'm going with Yair. You haven't been here. You haven't put in the work. You haven't fought the top fighters in the world. You fought the top
fighter.
Go ahead.
Patricio has fought someone of the caliber of Yair in his past, but he's 37.
His biggest win is Michael Chandler.
So, I mean...
What's Michael Chandler's record at lightweight against the top fighters in the world?
Not great anymore. Yeah, so we're both sticking with Yair, it sounds like.
Definitely. I watched a breakdown of his kicks the other day, and I was like, oh, yeah, 100%. He deserves to be where he is. Now, what does this do for his ranking? Who knows? This is probably just busy work until he can get into another little, oh, so-and-so's busy. Let's go this route.
I suppose if you like make a real big show of it,
you better pay me to fight this Bellator tick.
Yeah.
You better pay me, dude.
Show of it, you could probably make a call out like, I want the next shot, blah blah blah. Featherweight's in a weird spot with Ilya Topuria going up a weight class and losing his title.
Have you heard the rumors?
No, I don't know if I have.
He's fighting Charlie Olives.
Ooh.
You would think he would go straight to title. You think he'd go straight to title?
You know what? You would, but I'm hoping this is a precedent that Dana's setting so that, like, you can't just get 1 or 2 title defenses and be like, all right, I'm out. I'm going for double champ. No, you got to earn a double champ warranting.
Sure.
Makhachev. Right now, it's probably the only guy who warrants. I could see earning a double champ opportunity.
Yeah.
Dude's, cleaning out light heavyweight or lightweight, but no one else at the moment. I'm glad they stopped him from, just holding up a division.
So many moving parts. So-and-so's coming from here to there to everywhere. All that I'm saying is lightweight is the division to watch.
It has been for years.
It's Snoozeville at 170.
Yeah, welterweight is not a good spot entertainment-wise.
185. I mean, DDP versus Chimaev is the biggest fight that you can put on.
Yeah, 185 is lacking a little bit of something since Izzy's reign.
205.
205 is
with Ankalaev squeezing out a victory versus Alex.
Without Alex being on top, I don't give a shit about 205.
I could care less.
Maybe if Yair somehow got it, I would be more interested. I'm not interested in Ankalaev.
Or the resurgence of Dominick Reyes.
Maybe. Heavyweight. If they don't put on the super fight, I don't give a shit.
I could care less.
So light heavyweight is the place to be, the place to watch.
I think so.
God, lightweight. Now, I keep saying light heavyweight, but lightweight. Anyway,
I'm done.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I'm done with the
lightweight fight to talk about soon, but not yet. Because right now we have a fighting nerd to talk about.
Oh yeah.
We got a featherweight bout, number 3 or 13, Bryce Mitchell facing Jean Silva, the demon. Apparently, he summoned demons to attack Bryce in his dreams.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Bryce said, is that this man was summoning demons to attack him in his sleep.
I think that Bryce and I have similar opinions on Brazilians. We probably have similar opinions on a lot of things. Now let me talk to you guys about World War II.
Let's not. Bryce Mitchell is a little mentally deficient.
That's an opinion. Do your own research.
Do your own research. The world is flat, boys. I'm not even going to really talk much else about it. John Silva by murder. I think he's going to fucking sleep.
Okay.
Bryce is cooked.
Okay. All right. Cool.
He's taking another Emmett dirt nap, if you know what I'm talking about.
He season out. That was rough to watch. And that's when I did like Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, I liked Bryce then. Now, not so much. So.
Spoiler alert. We finally have our first.
Ooh.
We finally have our first differing opinion. I'm leaning into this heel. I personally don't subscribe to most, if not all, of Bryce Mitchell's beliefs. But there is a heel factor in this where if he goes out and puts on a show, hits Jean Silva with a twister or a nasty sub or just outpoints him.
Crazy.
Dana White goes, Bryce Mitchell's probably the dumbest fighter I've ever seen in my life. He's so stupid and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. He can be dumb. He isn't a mathematician. He isn't a professor at a college. He's a fighter. You can be all kinds of levels of dumb. If he whoops Jean Silva, brings a Bible into the ring, whatever antics, this is going to be such a big win for him in the face of the haters. And I'm not saying you're a hater. You got your guys, you're fighting nerds. I really appreciate how you're backing them, all of them. You literally,
I started it.
you ride for all of them.
I'm a fighting nerd myself.
I understand, and you're one of the best. No, man, I'm going with Bryce Mitchell. Shout out.
So, do you think points or do you think he gets a sub? What's the more likely outcome for Bryce Mitchell?
He's nasty on the ground, man. He does. Not only does he watch YouTube tutorials from Eddie Bravo, Edgy Bra. That's how you say it in Brazil. Edgy Bra. He watches a lot of other stuff on YouTube, and that's where he gets most of his information. Get Bryce Mitchell to send you a link, and it might open your eyes a little bit. Maybe.
It'll be like a YouTube video with more views than we have, but probably like 300-400 views.
You know, got the red pill, blue pill. Like, do you want to keep thinking the same way you're thinking, or do you want to be awakened? And most people don't. Most people don't want to be awakened. So they oh, Bryce is stupid. But all I'm saying, look into it.
No.
H-Man was a good guy. Oh, God. How can you? He's so dumb. He's so dumb. But I can't judge his fighting based off of his regular intelligence. His fight IQ.
Yeah. He's a great fighter. And I'm not even picking Jean Silva just to be a hater. I think Jean Silva does get it done.
He's a very good fighter.
He's a scary man. He is 15-2. I mean, this is probably his biggest test. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's gotten a win over Drew Dober, Charles Jourdain, and his last fight, I don't even recognize this man's name.
You're making me nervous with those last two, though.
Melsik Bagdasaryan. I think I said that right.
I think so.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Fighting nerds all the way, baby.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you ready for the co-main event?
Please, let's get off this before I say something else problematic.
We have a big lightweight fight. Two big superstars in their own right. Iron Michael Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett in a co-main event. This one should be fun.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be the best fight on the card. I guarantee it.
Very likely. Very likely. The main event could also be a candidate for that, but it's going to be one of those two, in my opinion.
Can we stop? This card, I'm not just now realizing it. I've realized it since it got like fully announced. These are bangers.
This is like the most certifiable top to bottom banger card we've had going into it in a long time.
All year, I think.
Probably last month's pay-per-view, I remember saying after the fact was really good, but I don't think on paper we were as hyped for it. Mm-hmm. This one on paper is going to cook.
Pray to the MMA gods that it all stays together. Yeah.
Yes, we do still have a few days for this to fall apart, but hopefully nothing happens here.
All right, let's get to it.
I love my boy Iron Michael Chandler.
Who doesn't?
Paddy the Baddy. I think this is a very telling fight for either one of these men. Mm-hmm. If Paddy gets it done, I think it puts him up to a next level of fighter. If Michael doesn't get it done, I think it shows that he is not to be at the top anymore completely. I don't want to say I'm not dissing Paddy, but like he's been losing to Justin, he's been losing to Dustin, he's been losing to Charles. Those are top tier names.
Yeah.
He loses to Paddy. Maybe that says more about where Michael Chandler is at this point in his career than those other fights do.
Sure.
I think this isn't a great fight for him. I think this is maybe a lose-lose. Maybe not lose-lose, but like if you win, I don't think it's that great for Mike. And if he loses, it's really bad. But if Paddy wins, that's big for Paddy. And if he loses, it's not that big of a deal for Paddy.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. The stakes
Just
for Paddy
where
aren't.
they're at in their careers, you know. Paddy's great on the ground. So that has been a weakness of Michael's in the UFC. He's been tapped out, twice now?
Dustin and Charles
almost tapped the Charles in the first fight. Or he didn't almost tap, but he was like really close to being submitted.
Yeah. Charles was a backpack.
Yeah, he was on him. So if this goes to the ground, I would definitely say I think Paddy's got it. If it stays on the feet, I think Michael's got it. Especially if Paddy hasn't adjusted that chin in the air stance of his. If one super punch from Michael in round 1 lands, it could be over.
Scousers don't get knocked out. You know better. You know better than that.
We'll find out. We'll find out Saturday. Man, I've been thinking about this fight for months, and I'm still thinking. I don't know. I'm not fully decided. I don't know what I'm going to pick here.
I can help you.
Yeah, hey, let's get a little bit of Robbie DuBronx.
So that being said, Mike Chandler has fought since he got in the game. He did not fight the number 15 guy. He came straight in, like we said earlier, fought Dan Hooker.
Probably, I guess, top 10.
Think so at the time.
On the debut.
Pretty sure. Knocked him out, not out cold, just stoppage, which was super impressive. You're like, oh my God, Michael Chandler's here. Like, good for him. Beat Tony Ferguson in the midst of like sketchy losses. Beat Tony Ferguson.
Probably one of the nastiest knockouts of all time.
If you're a photographer and you got where his face is like mushed, that's the payday. That's the ticket right there.
That's the shot.
So, Paddy the Baddy has beat King Green. He's beat Tony Ferguson. And I'm not saying, I'm kind of agreeing with you. I'm not saying Michael's washed. I'm not. He's been training nonstop. He fought Oliveira the second time after like the Conor stuff.
All the Conor stuff. He moved on to Charles.
Finally got the fight. Lost that. We don't know if he's done yet. Because who doesn't lose to Charles?
Yeah, he's losing to people that most people lose to.
So, go ahead. One more time. I think that Michael is not washed. We just don't know his caliber because he keeps losing to these guys that everyone loses to. Not everybody loses to Paddy. So far they have, though. He doesn't have a loss in the UFC. I remember being in Savannah, Georgia for his UFC Apex debut, I believe it was. And I go, oh, as soon as he gets into an arena, whether it's the O2 or a stadium of some kind, it's going to blow the roof off this place. And he's done it. Bomb, 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 bomb. It's one of my favorite intros of all time. He's going to light up me on me like the 4th of July. It's going to be amazing. He's gonna wake the place up. Just in case these first couple fights are duds, he's gonna wake the place up like no other. And I think it's very important that he's taken his time to get to where he is. You have the superstardom of like the Sean O'Malley's, or you have the guys that were pushed too early, like the Darren Tills of the world. This guy has been like, no, I don't want a title shot straight away. I want to take.
He slow rolled it, which is probably the smart way.
And this is why I have Paddy the Baddy.
He is the favorite. He's a minus 155 favorite to Michael Chandler's plus 130, which That's a pretty close line, I think. I think it's pretty close. I think if you're in the hundreds still, it's not like a crazy
No,
big
once it gets out,
differential there.
there's an obvious favorite, but once it gets out of the 100s, you're kind of like, ooh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So, because like Sean Silva's a minus 340. I think he's the biggest favorite on the whole.
That's
main
just because
card.
people don't like Bryce. Stop it.
It probably does, but we're not on that fight anymore. Paddy the Baddy versus Michael Chandler. I want to see Michael Chandler get a dub. I want to see him get a dub with no dirty tactics, because he is a little prone to being dirty, unfortunately. I wish that would stop. I'd like to rep the man, but it is a little noticeable. I mean, he did it to Charles. He's done it to Dustin. He's known for doing some dirty things in there. All that being said, I got Paddy the Baddy. I got Paddy the Baddy. We're going Paddy all the way. I don't know who I'm going to be rooting for Saturday night. I'm probably going to just be like amped up and anxious the whole fight, no matter what happens.
Sure.
But I do think Paddy probably gets it done. I think Michael has I think Michael's best chance is round 1. He's got to just explode. That's Michael's best chance in any fight is round 1, because by round 2 he's dead.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Do you realize that this is a 5-round fight and only one of these fighters has been to multiple 5 rounds? Multiple. And this is back when Bellator. Michael Chandler does very well in the early rounds, yes, but he doesn't. You won't see Michael Chandler in the 4th and 5th fading or like being fatigued or tired. We've never seen Paddy in a 5th round.
We haven't. Bellator, Michael Chandler's conditioning, and his conditioning still is off the charts. But my worries for him is he uses, at least since UFC, he uses so much of that energy in the first 5 minutes.
Sure.
Explosions. And that's what he trains for, is explosive power. He's a sprinter. He's not the long distance runner anymore. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a fun fight. There's going to be blood. Somebody's probably getting finished, whether it be a knockout or a submission. I don't see this one lasting the full 25 minutes.
I'm trying to create some kind of stipulation if Paddy gets knocked out. Some kind of maybe bet, just on me, not even between us, because we both have Paddy. But just for the fans, for the CCMA friends, what should I have to do if Paddy loses by knockout? I feel like it's crazy. I don't feel like it's going to happen.
If he gets knocked out, you need a blonde Paddy wig for the rest of the next show.
I was thinking I'd shave my eyebrows off, but
okay. If Paddy gets knocked out, shave your eyebrows off.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There you have it, folks. We'll see what happens. 2 Paddys and a Baddy.
2 Paddies and a Baddy.
And here's the next one's even harder on my heart.
Sure.
Is brutal.
Can we talk about a young man we brought in that had a little hype behind him?
No one knew his name.
No, and I feel like, and I don't want to take credit for his career. I don't. I would like to say that we had a hand in his upbringing.
We did.
And
we guided this young man.
Kind of, maybe not but like scooted him to stardom.
He was the first ever CCMMA sponsored fighter. Diego Lopez came into the UFC. We were like, who is this goober with this haircut?
Mm-hmm.
Who did he fight? Was it Evloev?
Ooh, I think it was on short notice. It was something like that.
Yeah, he comes. Let me look. I'm going to look. Hold on.
And everybody was counting him out. Everybody was, had their differing opinions.
It was Evloev.
Was it?
Evloev. He came in on short notice. Nobody knew who this guy was, and he brought it to him.
Mm-hmm.
He squeaked out a win, and it wasn't a controversial win, but everyone was like, this kid brought it. Mm-hmm. This is a ranked UFC fighter, and he just came in and brought it to him. And ever since then, he has just evolved. He had 3 first-round finishes after that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then he takes on Dan Ige on another short-notice fight.
3 hours, I believe.
Yeah, Dan Ige came in on short notice, but Diego wasn't prepared for him. He was prepared for Brian Ortega, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets the dub in a pretty close one.
Criticisms online. You got people in the Reddit comments. Oh, well, if he would have fought Brian, it would have been a different story. Fought Brian.
Well, a few months later, they fought. And it was a much closer fight than anything he had, but he hurt Brian like 2 to 3 times. He dropped Brian. And Brian didn't go down to Max or Alex until like cumulative damage had been applied.
He's not notorious for being dropped.
Right. He dropped to 1 punch and was woken up by the second.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So Diego Lopez has dynamite in those hands. But one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Our.
Top echelon of favorites. I'm really bad at picking a number 1 favorite, but like there was a period of time where he was the top dog for me.
Unstoppable.
Alexander the Great Volkanovski. He's getting a run back for his former featherweight title, but he's coming off of 2 very brutal KOs.
Can you answer me this? Is this for the vacant title or is this for the interim? This doesn't have title.
This is a vacant title. Tapuria vacated his title to move up to 155.
So this is a title fight, yes or no?
This is a title fight.
Wow.
This is a vacant featherweight title.
Wow.
Like, I don't understand why Ilya. I don't know if anyone fully knows if it was like, I want to go for a double champ, and Dana was like, no, you can't. He has said that I don't think he wants to do the cut to 150 or 145 anymore. So he's gone. He knocked out 2 legends and left.
Yeah, if you're gonna brag about
knocked everyone out and left.
If you're gonna brag about, I've done all I needed to do at 145, that's a pretty strong case when you beat Max Holloway and you beat Volk and you knock them both out.
Like if that's it for you at 145, that's pretty damn good.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's pretty damn good. 155 is another beast altogether, though. You're going in with we're off topic a little bit, but you're going with some different dogs as far as knockout ability.
Yeah,
155 is known for some like sleeper punches, so we'll see what happens for him. But old man Volk is going into another very dangerous fight.
I'm not disagreeing. Brian Ortega is upper echelon, has been, somehow kept his really high featherweight ranking despite not doing much or being injured and pulling out and all that, whatever.
Potentially one of the greatest gatekeepers of all time.
Up there with Neil Magny. Just a little higher.
Oh, he's above Neil Magny.
You think so?
Definitely. Dude, Brian Ortega would be champ if it wasn't for having 2 of the greatest featherweights of all time in the division at the same exact time. It's just unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. If you think, and I know that we got off topic and, that's usually what we do. If you think that I'm going to be on a bus for as long as I've been on the bus and I'm going to hop off in hopes of an old man trying to come back and get what once was, you're wrong, man. You're wrong. I'm going Diego Lopez via knockout.
You know how tough this is for me?
I know.
And the pain my heart is going through.
I know, man. I know.
Let me just say, when we signed young Diego Lopez to a contract with CCMMA, I told him in the meeting room that day, I said, I'll always have your back.
I remember that.
And guess what? I do. I'm picking Diego Lopez to be the new featherweight title. I just think if I had to go strictly on logic, I can't. I mean, Volk is a better overall fighter. But
We don't know.
The cracks.
We don't know that.
The cracks are showing. He could potentially win 4 rounds and get knocked out.
Sure. Yeah.
Diego has that power.
Yeah.
Diego has that power.
Yeah. He has the potential to do that.
The chin, it's definitely fading. I mean, even though like Islam and Tapuria's knockouts were just like freak power. That's like taking a train to your face twice.
Sure.
That's gotta be lasting damage.
It's been a year, hasn't it? Or no? How long has it been?
Yeah, let me look. It's been a while. I'm glad he took some time off. Yes, it's been a little over a year. February of 2024 was Alex's last. I didn't realize it had been that long, but that was his last fight. So he took the time to recuperate. He didn't rush in like he did with Islam and then that fight again.
Right.
So I definitely could see it going either way, and I'll be happy for either of those fighters, but we're going to ride with the CCMMA boy.
How do we not?
We can't sign the kid and then be like, bye, once you get the title shot.
No, that's shiesty. That's not how you do business. We ride with this guy until the end.
He's the first one, too. He's the OG.
He is about to become, dare I say, CCMMA royalty.
I mean, if he's our first champion, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dude.
He is the man. He's bringing gold back to the CCMMA camp.
That's insane. That's insane to even think about.
We've done this show what 2-3 years? I don't even know how long we've been doing it now.
So we have
it's just like
once a month. Maybe we've missed a couple. I don't think 301
was a couple
was
scheduling ones.